And here is the Writer's Almanac for Monday. It's the 25th of October, 2021. It is St. Crispin's Day, the feast day of the patron saint of shoemakers, and it was on this day in 1415 that English troops under King Henry V engaged the French near the village of Agincourt, and despite being outnumbered nearly 6-1, they pulled off one of the great victories in English military history. 1400 on this day, the poet Geoffrey Chaucer died. He was a civil servant, and he had been comptroller of customs. He'd kept the books on export taxes for the wool and the sheepskin and the leather that went through the port of London. And then he was out of work for 3 years, and it was probably during that period that he began to write the Canterbury Tales. It was on this day, 1854, a British light brigade went out to charge Russian troops on a hill in the Crimean War. They misunderstood their orders, and a couple hundred of them were killed. And from this military disaster, Alfred Lord Tennyson wrote his famous poem, The Charge of the Light Brigade. Theirs not to reason why, theirs but to do and die. It's the birthday of the poet John Barrowman, born in McAlester, Oklahoma in 1914, author of the Dream Songs. John Barrowman, who said, "You should always be trying to write a poem you are unable to write, a poem you lack the technique, the language, the courage to achieve. Otherwise, you're merely imitating yourself, going nowhere, because that's always easiest." It's the birthday of the novelist Anne Tyler, born in Minneapolis, 1941, the author of The Accidental Tourist, Back When We Were Grown-Ups, Digging to America, The Beginner's Goodbye, and many others. Early in her career, Anne Tyler decided she did not want to be a public person, so she stopped giving readings and does interviews very rarely. Anne Tyler said, "Anytime I talk in public about writing, I end up not able to do any writing." Anne Tyler also said, "I want to live other lives. I've never quite believed that one chance is all I get. Writing is my way of making other chances. It's lucky I do it on paper. Probably I would be schizophrenic and 6 times divorced if I weren't writing." And it's the birthday of Pablo Picasso, born in Malaga, Spain, 1881. He was living in Barcelona, painting portraits of his friends when one of his paintings was selected for the upcoming World's Fair in Paris. He was just 18. He went off to Paris and saw paintings by Manet, Cézanne, Degas, Toulouse-Lautrec, and came home determined to be an artist. Here's a poem for today by Richard Tarrell, a poem entitled Blackberries. They lie on the ground after the deer have left, after the bear has had her fill. They lie under the stars and under the sun in a cloud of brambles. The ripest ones fall first, become black jam in the thatch. Late August, school about to open, the aspen would rattle in a saving breath. As a boy, I hated picking blackberries, the pail never full, like one half of a slow conversation. Now their taste is sweeter in memory, the insect buzz, the branches too high, the blue summer, never quite over before the fall begins. A poem of Richard Tarrell, Blackberries, from What Falls Away Is Always, published by Holy Cow Press and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.